All right, so a quick tip here is that if you're doing Google AdWords and you're investing in really high CPC keywords that can get up to 30, 40, $50 a click, it's always good to have a pretty good idea of what's going to work in terms of ad and landing page before you make that level of investment, because you essentially want to piggyback off of competitors who have already done a lot of that A/B testing of ads. They've rotated different things. They may have bigger budgets. They may have a bigger team that's doing a lot of this testing, and you can kind of shortcut your way to the top of what's actually working for an ad or what's working for a landing page when it comes to a keyword that has that high of an investment to show for. But in some local markets, veterinarian in Miami or Atlanta, that may be the best keyword for you. There may not be a whole lot of other variations that you actually will drive business from. You may see most of your business on one or two keywords, so regardless of the CPC, you still need to be visible and purchase those clicks. But the idea is like minimize the testing, minimize the waste by piggybacking off of what the competitors are doing. So the idea is wherever you're at, whatever industry you're at, it can even be for real estate, or it can be for veterinarians, it can be for plastic surgeons, it can be for attorneys, on in the city name, and you essentially want to just try to find if you can gauge who the biggest advertiser is. Now, this is not a perfect system. You can always look for the top 10 best, or maybe there's another tool that'll show you revenue or size. But I like to go off of comments. Generally, the more comments, the more clients that they have, and that tends to be a decent representation of just how big a place might be. So here's one, for example, with 190 different comments. It looks like it does a pretty decent size of business, because in good business at that, because most of the comments are positive. But the idea here is to take the domain and plug it into a tool called Ahrefs. And in Ahrefs, there's a section called Site Explorer. And when you go in and type in the domain and scroll down, now it looks like these guys aren't actually not doing any advertising, which is interesting. So that might be in itself a project. But here's another one that we did for VCA hospitals. Looked like these were a top advertiser. And then inside Explorer, as you scroll down, there's this paid search section where you can see the keywords that these sites are bidding on. And then you'll sort by the highest keywords with the highest CPC. So you can see essentially what they're paying for. Now, this isn't their exact price. There's a lot of other things that go into what they actually pay. But these are the highest in terms of the marketplace CPCs, the cost per clicks. So you can get a sense of, most of their keywords are in that, above $5 range. So when you look at this, you can then go into ads to see what kind of ads they have running. Now, for each of those keywords, you can also see the ad that they have. But here, it gives you a general idea of which ads do they run the most, how many keywords do they have running for each of these ads, and which keywords are triggering this ad. You can see some of these are up there in CPCs, so it must be a good performing ad. You can then dive into the ad itself in a little bit more detail, see it in the search result page as well. And then last but not least, they also will give you a sense of how many landing pages they have. And this is a pretty robust number of landing pages. Oftentimes you'll just see all the clicks going to the home page, or maybe to one or two landing pages. Here it looks like there's quite a bit of ads, quite a bit of keywords that are taking traffic to very specific landing pages. So that could also factor into their discounts and how much they're truly paying for their clicks. But at a very high level, if you see one of these keywords like emergency vet, or if you see, let's go by CPC again, one of these high CPC keywords like veterinary hospital, Vancouver, Washington, take a look at their ad to see how they're structuring it, because generally you can't afford a lot of clicks if they're not converting at that price. So there's probably a lot of testing that's done to figure out what the right ad is for a keyword that's so expensive. All right, maybe it's things like the pricing, maybe it's the use of emojis in ads, which we often spot through these tools. Maybe it's the use of just a certain call to action or headline. Maybe they're putting pricing in here, or the use of alphanumericals as well. Or maybe the pipe bar might be helping just kind of separate two blocks of important text, etc. So interesting things to check out. You can also essentially clone some of those call to action, some of those headlines for your own ads. But a great way to kind of be a little bit more cautious and a little bit more strategic before making those level of investments on keywords. All right, enjoy. Cheers.